Welcome back to Groovy Tunes with Del. Today, we're diving into a wild ride through the Beatles' most groundbreaking moments, from mind-bending studio experiments to cultural earthquakes that changed the world. Ready to explore? Let's go! Episode 2, Studio Experiments. You know how Strawberry Fields Forever showed everyone that the Beatles weren't afraid to get weird and experimental? Well, that wasn't just a one-off. They kept that energy rolling. Take Tomorrow Never Knows. That track was a complete game changer. They flipped tapes backward, layered sounds on top of each other, and basically turned the studio into its own instrument. It wasn't just a song, it was an experience. And that's the thing. The Beatles weren't just writing catchy tunes anymore. They were rewriting how music itself was made. After Revolver dropped, psychedelic rock really started to take off. Suddenly, musicians everywhere felt like they had permission to go bigger, weirder, and more ambitious. The Beatles showed that production wasn't just polishing a track at the end. It could be part of the story, part of the art. And this all led to one of the biggest creative leaps in music history. Yep, we're talking about Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Let's see what made this album a total game changer. When Sgt. Pepper landed in 1967, it wasn't just another album. It was a whole new way of thinking about what music could be. Instead of a random collection of songs, the Beatles stitched everything together into a concept, almost like a musical journey. That alone was groundbreaking. And the production? Unreal. Tape loops, orchestral swells, sound effects, it was unlike anything people had heard before. If you've ever listened to A Day in the Life with that massive goosebump-inducing crescendo, you know exactly what I mean. What made Sgt. Pepper so special was its range. Rock, classical, Indian influences. It was this colorful tapestry of sounds, fitting perfectly with the late 60s spirit of peace, love, and breaking old rules. Even the cover was iconic, a collage of famous faces that made the album feel like art you could hold in your hands. No wonder it sold over 32 million copies. But the Beatles weren't just changing music in the studio. They'd already proven their power to shake up culture a few years earlier, with a live TV performance that completely stopped America in its tracks. But the Beatles weren't just shaking up studios, they were shaking up culture. Let's rewind to February 9th, 1964, when they stepped onto The Ed Sullivan Show and changed America forever.
Second half of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles!
The four of you will be millionaires by the end of the year.
Oh, that's nice.
Have you got time? Have you got time to actually spend this money?
What money?
A boob for all seasons.
How can he lose?
Well, your notice is good.
It's my policy never to read my reviews.
There must be a word for what he...
whoever they are, don't stand a chance because they can't beat love. Because all those old bits from religion and that about love being all powerful is true, you know, and that's the bit they can't do. You know, they can't handle it.
You'd have success with something that might have seemed like a far-out idea. It was like we were in another phase of our career. You know, we'd done all the live stuff, and that was marvelous.
You know, I heard that my law, you have to turn your headlights on when it's raining in Sweden. How the hell am I supposed to know when it's raining in Sweden?